All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Podcast. This is your host, Austin. And we're coming back to you here in Louisville. We're back into the main booth. It's good to be back on the home court here. I really enjoyed the time in Lexington, so thank you again, G, for having us on out there.
Oh, of course.
I felt like there was a bit of magic in that episode, and just kind of doing it in a different setting, different format.
Yeah, I think just proving that we could do it. It kind of proved some sort of maybe longevity, or there was something more to it, right?
Yeah, it was fun, a nice little shake up to throw in the middle of it there.
Kind of had to prove to ourselves that we could do it.
We can go on the road now. So
have Mike, and we can travel, right?
That's exactly it.
That's right. So if anyone has, as Griffin mentioned, a good place for us to bring all our shit over and crash in your basement and start talking and speaking profanities into a microphone.
Drinking wine.
Drinking wine? Yes, absolutely. So let's get some intros in here. To my left, we got Crisscross Applesauce Mikey in the booth. Say hello, Mike.
Hey, Oz. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. Good to have you here. And who's that sitting across from you there? Here's your chance. I'm setting you up.
I want to tear that ass up, but no, we got Griffin.
Whoa! All right.
He did. Look, he's a nice man. Very stand-up gentleman.
Well, we'll see how this goes for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we're coming to you now also on a Friday night. So a different element to this. We've typically been recording these on Sundays. I haven't asked the question yet. I don't know when we're going to release the episode. Maybe it's tonight. Maybe it's Saturday. Maybe we just do it Sunday morning and keep it consistent. I don't know when you're going to be hearing this. I don't know because maybe you wouldn't listen to it then. Anyways, I digress. We're here on a Friday night. And because this is a Friday night, we have a little something else with us tonight, and that is a nice glass of some vino, Nebbiolo, so an Italian wine here, nice and tannic. We got some dark fruit, we got some red fruit, some strawberries is what I was really tasting. A lot of
red fruit we were getting, though. Yeah. I was getting like some chocolate, I said.
Yeah, white chocolate you mentioned.
It was doing a little something for me, a little cherry.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, but if you're a long-time Purple Podcast listener, you would know that there were some wine undertones of this. And honestly, in a lot of ways, I could say that my fascination of wine kind of stimulated from this podcast in a way, because on the podcast, it was kind of a part of it where we were drinking wine. Clinkies.
Oh, yeah, Clinkies. Yeah.
Clinkies, you know.
And can we revive that right now?
Well, that's the point. That's what I'm getting to. That's
what we're getting to. So why don't you jump in here too, Pops?
Yeah, let's get on in here and let's get us a nice clink, because we're going to be far from the mics, but I wanted to pick up a little bit. Clinkies, boys.
Clinks.
All right.
That's
right.
Sir.
So as much as we can here, I would like to, include some undertones of wine. It's something that I would say we're at least slightly passionate about at this point, and, may not be too knowledgeable, but we have a lot of fun consuming and, experiencing wine. And I think that's a lot of the fun.
I think it's more consuming. Let's just be honest.
All right.
You all polished off at least this. What is this, your first or second bottle?
Hey, that's your new name. He's calling you Crisscross. Old bullfrog over there. He was a good friend of mine.
Yeah. All right,
man.
Well, we are going to, I guess, get into it here. We're back here recapping The Last of Us. This one was a heavy hitter, as we expected it to be.
Of course.
This
scene right here, of course, we're watching as we always do, and we have the Joel as a kid flashback with his pops, and oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
Did this one kind of get you guys worked up a little bit?
Oh, of course it did.
Watch?
And not knowing that line that he says, I hope you do better than a little bit better than me, because it's just kind of this continual, I guess, progression in terms of fathering. And he admits in this scene that, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
man.
not to do this, but there's only one father in this room.
Yeah, that's right.
What was your take on that,
guys?
Dad?
Absolutely. I mean, I completely understood, because once you have that little baby in your arms, you're thinking, oh my God, I have no clue what I'm doing. So, I think it boils down to, hey, we always want to do better I wanted to do better than my father. I know my father wanted to do better than his father, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about quite a bit through this today.
And absolutely.
The actor in this scene, Tony Dalton, kills it.
Oh my God. Phenomenal.
He's there for 2 seconds.
I was on something, and apparently he got a role based off of this performance.
Yep, I got the I guess the post up here right now. So impressive in The Last of Us that he was instantly cast in Naughty Dog's Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet.
There it is.
Naughty Dog is the video game publisher who made The Last of Us.
Amazing.
Okay. So, really well done. Let's get your recap, Griff. We got our recap in here. Let's see if he can make us laugh. Let's see if he can not lose his spot like Mike last week. But
well, don't expect too much.
Come on. Do we need to call him phone him in?
Are we going to phone me in?
Where's he at? What do you call me for? It's Friday. I'm not in the office anymore. Okay, send it on over. Griffey recap.
All right. Young Joel. Tommy's smoking pot. Their pops could swing a belt. When he was younger, he got cold cocked by his father. Trauma is a cycle, but hopefully you can do a little better than me. Flash forward to Jackson, but not quite present day. A guitar made with love, Ellie's 15th birthday. A dino in the woods, a space pod from before, to infinity. And beyond! Now she's 17, no birthday cake will do. Ellie likes pussy. And much to Joel's chagrin, cover-up tattoos.
Oof.
Baby's growing up. Now she's on patrol. Eugene just got infected. Joel's the asshole. Think about the rabbits, Eugene.
There he is.
Ellie tells the truth. Now it's Joel's turn. Here come the waterworks. You just can't understand, but hopefully you can do a little better than me. I would like to try. That's the recap.
Whoa, good job, Greg.
Well done. Stable, nothing too outrageous. Very good. You get the picture, guys, and now this episode can be under an hour and 40 minutes.
There we go.
Oh, we should be able to easily.
I think so.
Where do we want to start off?
Where do we want to start, fellas?
Well, I kind of like taking cues from what's happening, guys. We got... tell the people what you said about old Seth.
Well, this is... this is bad because I have another narrative here with our boy Seth. We're seeing this opening scene where Seth is bartender Seth, right?
He's like the bartender.
I made a maybe untasteful joke saying that he was so stiff it looks like he took it in the ass recently. And when you think...
I thought that was my dad's line. Didn't you say that, Dad?
That was Mike.
No, it was not.
And then when you couple that with the fact that he's a baker too, guys, and then he slammed... Or no, he didn't slam him to the ground, but he called, the girls something pretty untasteful.
Hey, a little, is he suppressing some things? Is that what we're getting at?
Does Seth have a secret? Is this episode titled Seth's Secret? He bakes one hell of a cake, boys.
Secret squirrel, Dad? What do you have to say about that?
It's a possibility. No, I think, Seth, I didn't realize that, again, what did he say he was?
He was a cop.
He was a policeman.
Milwaukee PD.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. Easy.
Is Milwaukee the city that got rid of the police? Is that Milwaukee?
Is that a thing?
There was talks of it. We're not going to go down
that. I don't know if I'd heard of that. Well, old Seth, they make that trade or whatever. I think it's nice you're seeing Jackson when Joel and Ellie were fresh to the town.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. Seth has been there for a while, obviously longer than Joel. He bakes that cake, of course, for Ellie, and we're just kind of seeing. We're just getting more layers on
this begins this. What this whole episode is the space in between what we picked up with this season. Mm-hmm. So we're getting that filler, that relationship building, seeing the years that Ellie and Joel have under their belt. and how much this matters. And like, you're seeing Joel as the father, as the protector. And as we noticed in the very first scene, this protector complex that Joel has, protecting Tommy at the very beginning of it all.
Oh, wow.
And the desire to be a better father because of that.
Cool.
So this is a lot of Joel's core
I wanted
being.
to say this too. I mean, this is what we hoped this whole season would be, I think, to a degree. You wanted to see that relationship between Joel and Ellie just broadened and built up, and this kind of hit my fix because I was really wanting that.
This is a great scene right here, Griff. We see, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you two a-hoes will, but this scene, Joel, he calls her baby girl.
Yep.
And he pulls her in, hugs her, and then kisses her on the head. I had never seen him do that before. This you see a much softer Joel in this episode.
Well, they're able to live, I guess, somewhat of a normal life where he can be an actual father and not someone that is
That's a good point,
carrying her across country as cargo. Obviously, he loved her throughout that process, but it's not the same dynamic. It's not going camping. It's not putting on birthdays for her. We traveled through this episode through her birthdays, which I think is a really neat way to kind of cover the time.
Yeah.
And it plays so much into who Joel is, this deep desire to give her a great birthday. Like he's desperate for it. But it's why we love this guy.
Oh yeah.
Like we just
he's trying so hard.
He's trying so hard, and I think just so we don't miss it, on this birthday apparently is when Ellie burned herself so that she could begin wearing short sleeves
her
again.
15th birthday
to hide that mark.
We've heard that story. Like I really wanted to. She told Dina this in a previous episode, and we see when it happened. And it's interesting to see.
But it's a nice moment too, because you kind of see Ellie very genuinely just say, "Hey, like I'm sorry, I just really wanted to do this." And of course, Joel later on, I forget
she's drugged up. She's floating.
She is, but still, Joel's like, "Hey, I understand why you did it." He's about to say it.
That's what makes it even more innocent, maybe in a way. It's just like I just really wanted to wear short sleeves again. Like it's her most honest thoughts, and that's what it came down to. She has this bite wound. She is on this birthday burnt herself, and on a later birthday, ends up getting a tattoo over it as well.
Oh yeah.
And this is where we find out Joel, he hands her this beautiful Taylor guitar, and then he
put together by hand, of course. He's like we said, he's working his tail off to show Ellie how much he cares about her, and these are things we knew, but it's nice to see these instances.
And Griffin, what did he have engraved on the guitar?
He had a moth.
Yeah.
And we find out about that in a little bit, don't we?
That we do. And that was kind of an interesting thing. I thought, like, what do you guys get from that? Like, is it that Ellie's fantasizing, or is it some sort of romanticization of death, or what is it? You think?
Well, what it is it's, how much does she recognize? It's symbolic, of course. It's symbolic. And I think what it is that meaning that her life was supposed to have. And we kind of touched on this in earlier episodes. This meaning that her life was supposed to have by like procuring a cure out of her body. That was supposed to be her purpose. When Joel made this decision that at this point where she's having the beginning of the moth stirrings, Joel hasn't told her what happened. She doesn't know fully, but that's stirring in her. And I think in her subconscious, she's understanding that. Yeah. And with that understanding, the death of her purpose, she's recognizing. Like she's kind of like, there's a bit of death in that, that she didn't die there.
But hadn't she been reading books about
what?
About dreams.
She did mention that. I think she did mention that she saw that. It probably just caught her eye.
However it slips into your subconscious, conscious, whatever it may be. But I think, I don't want to say it's what I know, but
Griffin, this wine's really helped him out tonight. He's
on tonight. He's really thinking.
Wow.
No, well, the thing is, I think that's a good point. The death of that purpose, maybe, because we see on one of her sketches later on.
With the moths.
Yeah, with the moths, it says, what is it? Find your purpose. Or you have a purpose.
Yeah, you have a purpose.
My life has something along those lines.
You have purpose. And granted, at the very end of the episode, we hear her saying, "That was my purpose," to Joel.
Then I should have died.
I should have died. That was my purpose.
And with her not dying there came the death to her purpose in life, which obviously isn't true. She
only
needs
in her head, I think.
Exactly. So,
guys, when Joel was singing to her, was that the same song she was starting on?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That second guitar scene.
I will jump in. I hate to do this, but we got to keep them honest here. Yep. Something I did notice as a Pearl Jam Eddie Vedder fan myself, that song that he was singing was actually written, I believe, in 2013.
That would be the one.
That was the one. And of course, the apocalypse happened in 2003. So
Hey, who's to say they didn't stay together through the apocalypse?
Yeah, maybe they were releasing music through the apocalypse. Maybe nothing changed, but I'm kind of calling a little bit of BS on that one.
Oh, Eddie Vedder got bit. You know he did. Oh, he was infected, Griff. Jeez.
He'd have
been in Seattle. We saw what happened to Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
He might have the scars up his face, man. He might be a damn Seraphite.
Yeah, but what did you think of that scene? Were you critiquing it? Yeah, you mentioned to me that they never saw him playing in a full or a wide screen that Pedro Pascal was
you never see that because, you got to think when they were showing Ellie, of course they did.
Yeah.
But, who cares?
Griffin, what did you think of his singing, Joel?
I thought he did a pretty decent job. He had the gruff thing going on.
Yeah. Felt honest and true.
Honest and true. Well,
he didn't try to push it.
No, he clearly made a mark on Ellie. Ellie felt. I don't think it was a take on me moment, like Ellie in that music shop in Seattle. I don't think it was that, but it was something.
Here's an interesting little tidbit, and this is video game related. Okay. So the guy who voice acted Joel in the original video game, I think his name's Troy Baker. I can't remember who voiced Ellie, but they asked them going into that, what did you want to be when you grew up? The guy who voiced Joel said, I wanted to be a singer.
Really?
That's why Joel's a singer. The person who voiced Ellie said, I want to be an astronaut. So that's why we have this scene then later where they go to the museum where they have that really just magical, magical scene of the
crazy.
The astronaut going up in space, how he got that recording.
What did you guys think of them kind of I'm going to say hamming it up. I don't mean it in a negative way. What did you think about when she's listening? They make her shake around as if it's actually happening. They kind of suspend reality for a moment.
No, I really like it.
What did you think about that? Is that pretty? Did you think that was pretty cool, or you're like, oh, it's not really happening? What the heck?
I thought it was an awesome scene myself. Yeah. I was drawn in.
Yeah. Well, that one was very true to the video game as well, which is one they kind of had to nail there. But I really liked it. The noise, the sound with it, you're hearing the recording, and that's what it is. And that's why.
Control the Major Tom.
Hey, we got David Bowie over here.
David Bowie.
Hey, something else, Austin, I would love it. Of course, we were speaking beforehand, and you mentioned, hey, I think Bella Ramsey really steals this. It's hard to say that, though, because Pedro Pascal does so well. It's so amazingly acted by both of them.
We will get to that.
This scene is great.
It's so good.
These guys pull it off.
Oh, they kill it. And I know you were saying it.
I was glued.
Well, at this moment, I loved it, Dad. We were watching. You said, God, I love this guy. Talking about Joel watching
and you both started laughing. But, he
greased the goddamn planets. He greased it up. This guy rocks.
He does. Everything. He just takes over the scene, and I just love. And you can see. I'd say this every single week, but in his eyes, you could just see the love he has for this kid.
Yeah,
you can tell. We love how much he loves Ellie.
Oh yeah.
It's just
as a father, I get it. You love your kids. In some ways, you don't think they do anything wrong, but they do. And she cusses like a sailor. We were both, all
nasty
of us
little girl.
She was she's a dirty little girl sometimes and says some just outlandish things.
Dicks and vaginas?
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost embarrassing.
Yeah. Like going, Jesus.
Jesus.
I can't tell you how many people I've met, and I'm like, they go, what kind of podcast are you doing? And I tell them about this podcast, and I tell them about the show, and I'm like, there's a few F-bombs, there's a few this, there's a few that.
Maybe a few.
And I said, this may not be for you, but I love it.
Oh, and then, yeah. I mean, when Ellie comes back to Earth and Pedro Pascal Joel goes, I do okay.
Yeah, I do okay.
Oh, and then the tears running down his eyes. My God, my wife made fun of me because I was tearing up the whole show.
Well, he hit a goddamn home run.
He killed it.
What a great...
what I wanted to say, though, Austin, in the moment you were going, Bella Ramsey really, really acts this well. Very, very childlike, of course.
Yeah.
Look at this thing, Griff.
I know.
She's walking with a rock, and she's got this little sheepish look on her face like, oh, I get to break this glass.
Yeah, well, exactly. But we were saying, she's 16 years old. I think when most of us were 16, we probably would have wanted to play it a little bit more cool. But you made a great point, Austin. You said, well, I mean, this is during the apocalypse. I just kind of wanted to give you a chance to talk about that a little bit more.
Well, it's so easy to like poke holes in things and any kind of media, whatever it may be, and say, this isn't realistic. This person's 16, would they be going beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, boop on every single button inside whatever the hell the thing they're in is but I mean, you got to imagine how stunted her childhood was, and she has to be so like this thing that allows her to be a child for one point.
Oh my gosh.
And being able to, she didn't do this when she was 5.
Yeah. And you mentioned too, you said, I mean, if you're living in the apocalypse, how often are you going to get in a freaking real space pod?
Yeah.
I mean...
And then Joel puts on the audio from the damn line.
It's amazing. She's wearing a helmet. I mean, it's...
You did all right, Joel. I'll tell you that. I mean, it would be so cool. Well. Just, you got to imagine. There's not a lot of things to do for outlets here. You can shoot guns and, drink like Seth. So... When you can go to something like this, a museum, climb on top of a dinosaur, what an amazing 16th birthday. You don't get to drive. You're not going to get to drive, Ellie.
No, you don't get it. You're not getting that convertible, like she said. But
yeah.
No, just amazing stuff. I mean, again, I think, especially, obviously, guys, these past couple of episodes we've been watching, they've dragged a little bit. We love the show. We love it all. We're having fun, but I think this one really kind of got you just a little, it kind of threw you off the scent a little bit, and it made you just ease into the story.
But it also, in a way, kind of refocused you, and you're like, oh, this is why she's here. There's some of that you needed maybe too, because I was probably a little overcritical. We see it. We see how much, we believe that she's here. She saw Joel get a golf club stuck through his fucking neck. We believe that she's in Seattle for a reason and wants to be there. But these things, that we're seeing here just further cement and solidify the relationship that they have and how much this man meant to her. And, give a little more grounds for like, I guess this is why she just can't give it up kind of thing right now.
Oh, yeah. No,
And let's be honest, we miss Joel.
Oh, we missed him.
We missed him. And it's
how the hell couldn't you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, as soon as he came back on, it's like, I'm just sitting at home going, this is great. I'm so happy to see him again. Yeah. And then you get the backstory.
Yeah.
Was really nice.
I saw hearts in Mike's eyes when Pedro came on.
Oh, I love the guy. You all know that.
He lit up.
I do.
Like a firefly.
Oh!
Well, Austin, you pointed that out. I missed that when I watched it last Sunday. I missed it. So good eyes there, buddy.
Exactly. So at the end of this 16th birthday scene, we see them walking off. Ellie stops, looks to the left. Joel says, "What's going on?" She doesn't respond. She says nothing. But then we see that she's looking at fireflies, and that subconscious, whatever it is that's eating at her and kind of saying like, "Hey, I'm here. What happened in Salt Lake City?" Kind of that's beginning to stir, jumping to the 17th birthday, and it's all the teenage things at once.
Oh, yeah.
Smells like Teen Spirit, as I said.
That was funny. Yes, it smells like Teen Spirit in there.
There's Nirvana sign or like posters all over the place. Kurt Cobain's flicking off on the doors. Like, sure smells like Teen Spirit. Now,
I will say, how did you guys respond to that scene when you first saw it? I thought Joel kind of hammed it up a little bit, but like maybe that was. Is that like how you think he would have really been?
No.
He kind of hammed it up a little bit, right?
He was a little like, "Oh, you're not in your right mind. You're with a girl.
I'll speak with you when you're in your right mind.
Experimenting with girls."
Well,
experimenting.
First of all, he would have never busted in that door like he did. I mean, no father does.
He's lucky he didn't see more than what he fucking wanted to.
He just about
Crazy
got an
asshole.
eyeful. I mean, we know Ellie.
He had a chocolate.
Got an eyeful.
Hey,
he did it again. Didn't
he brought her a chocolate cake. They probably already had one in there.
Daddy's great. He's giving us chocolate.
Yeah,
cake.
returned for. Hey, Kat comes back. We see Kat.
Yeah, Kat's back.
We haven't seen her since the first episode.
Kurt Cobain's flicking him off as he walks in the door.
Whoa! Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh man, that's
He's tucked tight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this is great watching this live as we go.
It's a good
really
reference point.
Yes, it
sure.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I think, it's a big scene because it shows what made Ellie want to move to the garage.
Mm-hmm.
This is establishing what went wrong. This is what that is.
Well, there's also that transition that even if Joel didn't have this massive lie that a lot of the relationship is built upon, everything since that point has kind of felt like a lie in a way if you really dig too damn deep. But outside of that, it's also this kind of look into father-daughter, she's coming of age. Why he's so angry initially is because he doesn't want her to grow up. And she's got a tattoo now.
You don't own anything.
You don't own anything. Exactly.
That was tough.
Yeah. Well, and let's hear your perspective on adolescence, the teenage years.
Guys, you're going to get that, with kids. Griffin probably 14, 15 was cuckoo, and then it just, as I tell everybody, kind of wait your kids out about 24, 25. They want to start coming back home. They appreciate you a little bit more, but all fathers go through this, and I'm speaking, I'm not the authority, but I can tell you from my experience that it happened with both my kids. It's the rebellious years, whatever that may be, like Griffin, 14, 15, 16, maybe 17.
What about for you? What were your rebellious years?
Mine were 16 to 18. I was crazy. So, yeah. Austin, how about you? Did you give Papa any troubles?
I'm sure I did. I'm not one to listen too much, and I've definitely gotten better about it, but yeah, I mean, it's just what it is, man. You're so caught up in your own world and everything feels so important when you're a fucking kid, it's all you know. And you're so caught up in your own shit and you think you're
very naturally too. And obviously I'm not a dad, but you have to imagine you're growing up, you're finding your own identity and this person who raised you, they're kind of having to settle with that too. It's a change for everybody involved.
We don't have that perspective as kids. It's like you don't recognize, this is like my parent and they just did all this for me. Like we just don't see it that way when you're that young. You don't think of it like that.
And Joel walks in, he got the trifecta here, guys. I mean, it was all three at one time. Usually you walk in and your son's making out on the couch with a girl and you're like, oh, whoa, or, you might walk upstairs and your daughter, you smell something. You're like, I know what that is.
Mike says, I'm going to go up there and get me some.
Yeah.
Reefer Mike.
But, again, he had the trifecta here, and I think that really shook him up to get them all at one time. Yeah. But you know what? He recovers here, and he kind of regroups and says, you know what?
Hey, your tattoo looks all right.
Yeah.
Your tattoo actually looks good. We'll get the garage fixed up for you. Yeah, he is. He comes back around. What it was initially is he's fired up. He sees his daughter growing up, his pseudo daughter growing up.
Well, and he was, let's think, we've all had this experience. We're bringing the chocolate cake upstairs. We're excited. We want to make that person so happy. And then that happens. And it's like, it just takes the wind out of your sails.
Of course. Yeah, nothing worse than, saying you don't like a gift or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And God knows what he had to work out with Seth. I mean,
he was doing his best.
Yeah, a bunch of Legos.
But now, granted...
Okay, we'll pass on that.
Whoa, damn, Oz.
Pedro.
God, Pedro. Not after his well, maybe the outburst with Ellie was a little bit of, hey.
Yeah,
little pushback.
Hey, who's Joel seeing in this? Who's Joel seeing? Hey,
funny.
Why does Seth walk with a limp?
Damn, there we go. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's hard for me because it's like, you know where things end up with Joel and Ellie, but it's still like, it's hard to see some of this stuff because you see all the love and you see the care, and I just really hope that they really were on good terms when Joel passed. Everything leads me to believe that they were, but it's just,
I think
it's a shame how that stuff works, right?
I mean, you got to imagine if you left that final conversation that way. Sure, there's always going to be things left unsaid, but I think you left it at a place you can be fine with. I think you can be comfortable with the way that goes.
All I know is that in episode 2, I remember that Ellie says we made up.
Yep,
she does say that. She says that, and I mean, obviously, Joel was just clamoring for her to be on his side.
He poured his heart out to that young lady.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he says, I would have done it again because I love you.
Yeah.
And just tears pouring out of his eyes.
Well, and he does. He also, you wondered about redemption in one of our earlier episodes.
Yeah.
I think it was probably episode 2. And he sure as hell got redemption with Ellie.
Yep, he did. He sets things right. I would have liked him to set things right with Gail, who we're seeing on the screen right now as well.
Well, let's talk about that because he sets things right with Ellie. Question is, did he do what's your guys' take on him killing Eugene the way that he does? Was that the right move, or should he have had him go back to the camp, say goodbye to Gail? What do you think?
I think he made a mistake lying to Gail's face after he put a hole in her husband's head.
Yeah,
I think he should have
said.
I think he should have said what fucking happened.
I had to cap him.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Begging.
I don't think he should have lied to Ellie in that moment. I think he should have just been like, Ellie, we're not doing this. I'm sorry. Like, if it really was one of those things where he had no intention of ever doing it, he should have never done that. And it doesn't seem like, maybe because we saw as they're walking along and Eugene maybe starts kind of slipping under the influence of the cordyceps.
Yeah.
Oh, the cordyceps makes you cold.
Cold.
And then he's kind of stumbling around.
Which way do I go?
Yeah, which way do I go?
Yeah, what's your take, Dad?
First of all, that actor, I kept telling y'all didn't seem very interested, but that actor, I know him from way back. He was in Risky Business. For those, that are probably in their 40s, they're going to know him as Guido the Killer Pimp. He was awesome. So I know my brother-in-law would know that one, by the way. But he was also in Percy Jackson. Yeah, he was that.
Who was he?
He was that stinky little bastard that was in it. You remember that? He stunk so bad that Percy Jackson, they couldn't smell him. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, no,
that's why the mom got with him.
Right. Yeah, I love that actor. He is phenomenal. I can't pronounce his last name.
It was pretty great to get Eugene on screen finally. I wish we got to see more.
I wish we got to see more because he was great. He's a great actor. What was he on there? 5 minutes?
He's on there 5 minutes.
Should have been on
the Bond
really
ripping Baldy.
But you know what? The thing that we do notice that these actors, they bring in phenomenal actors, and maybe they have short scenes, but boy, it leaves a lasting impression because you'll remember Eugene, guys, won't you?
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's something that, I'm sure every show reaches for it and looks for it. But, something where we're having the issue of maybe, we don't know yet how well Bella Ramsey's going to carry this franchise into the future, right? We had some questions. I don't think we're too concerned about it, but what I'm getting at here is that the product is quality all the way around. The product is quality. Griffin's over shaking his head like an asshole.
Austin, she is quality.
She
is.
I'm not saying that.
Phenomenal.
I'm not
actress.
saying that.
We're doing it again.
Why is Oz so worked up?
He is just on her ass, and she's.
I'm not on her ass. I'm talking about a general. Maybe more. There's more. You can't lie and say there's less disinterest from the general public in some regards with Pedro Pascal being gone? I've heard it. I've seen it. I've read it. Maybe I'm seeing too much. Maybe I'm looking too much. Maybe I'm being fed what I'm seeing.
I haven't been looking, so I haven't noticed.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is. And I'm not being that. Like I said, I'm more open now. I got my gripes out. And I thought this episode was amazing. I thought
it's a great episode.
Well, it's a great episode.
Pedro's in the episode.
Pedro's in the episode.
Hey, here's the thing. Now, I don't know. Maybe this is a little bit of a cop-out answer. For one thing, I do think that Bella does great.
Yes.
I love Ellie. We have some new characters now, guys. We have Dina. We have Jesse, otherwise known as
BDP.
Big Dick McGee.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Shooty Griffin, did you ever get your table fixed at home?
I did not. I think when Jesse came through, he just knocked the whole damn thing in half.
God, he broke the legs out of it. That was amazing.
That thing must have been heavy.
Hey, man, it sure was. I mean, shit, we were right there to witness it, so
Goodness
tell you what.
gracious.
No, shit, what were we just kind of...
Lock the doors from Jesse.
Yeah, I think we have some other characters at this point, and I don't know. I mean, I have faith in it. I think that I don't know. I think it's a great story.
Well, guys, we've got coming up. You know, we got Isaac. You know, Abby's going to be seen now. And we got one more episode left.
One more episode.
So think about it.
I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Kreskin moment. What's your big reveal in the last episode of season 2? What is it? Kreskin.
I'm going to think about that one. That one's that's tough.
Yeah,
but we know that
Austin, does this guy do anything to come to this show? I don't think he's got all those notes. I think they're just gibberish. I don't know if he actually has anything written down. That
was I've got all sorts of notes. But I don't particularly have that one. I would assume that we're going to see Abby in this next episode. I think so.
You think we see her?
Yeah, I think so. I would say I'd hope so.
I'd like to see her for sure.
What do you think, Oz? Let me give you a shot a couple of weeks in a row.
Let me give you something here, and they've already announced this. So this isn't news. Okay. This isn't breaking, anything. They're saying that in order to fill out the last video game story, it's going to take 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
So, guys, you got to consider that.
Hey, that's good for our professional careers,
right? That's a good content move.
Austin, we love it.
That's a good content move for us. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I was about to say, hours ahead of us that we're looking forward to.
Hey, by the time we get to season 4, I can promise you one thing. Purple Podcasts going to be bigger than it is now.
Hyperbolic.
I can tell you that.
So season 3 is supposed to be an exploration of Abby's story and quest, which is...
Ooh, that's going to be tough for them to be selling.
That's one thing you can say about The Last of Us. You can't hold against it. The show has balls, right?
They take chances.
They're doing some freaky things, and I think a lot of that is probably... kind of indicative of it being a video game and kind of in terms of a story, not having to play it safe as much maybe. And even of the times maybe when it was made, I could be reaching there. But it's an interesting kind of look into it here.
Maybe so.
Which of the, question for you guys, which of the birthdays did you guys prefer the most?
Definitely the astronaut. Dino, they're doing that whole thing. I mean, how could you not?
Well, I guess in terms of like a feel-good moment, yeah, it's pretty hard not to pick that.
Pretty sweet.
In terms of just the scene, which one? Because I would say the first one you have an argument because there's that Pedro Pascal guitar playing scene, which is supposed to be kind of a strong, big thing. She gives her the guitar and
it's a good one.
She carries that on, and that's
obviously when she's trying to sing that in the theater in Seattle and she can't do it.
Exactly.
It's a great tie together.
The Teen Spirit one, I didn't care for as much. The 16th birthday was amazing with the museum, the dinosaur. And then that Eugene one was just ridiculously good too. I mean, Eugene looking off into the sunset with the mountains. I can see her.
Yeah, you could see her.
I need her words and my bong.
Hey, well, I want to hear your take on that part too, Dad. What did you think Joel needed to do? Did Joel have him tied up on horseback, bring him back to Gale, let him say goodbye?
How far are they? We don't know. We have no good reference.
I don't think they had enough time. Honestly, at the end, when the way he was moving his mouth, his
eyes just going blank.
Yeah, basically. He looked like he was getting ready to be taken over by the infected. I think Joel, personally, I thought he did the right thing.
Yeah.
Again, one of you guys said that, hey, he probably should have just come clean to Gale.
I'll stick with that. That was going to.
I think you were exactly right. Just come clean, and I think she could have accepted that. Really, if anybody got ripped off, it was Gale. I think she really, if you watch that, Ellie was not doing that for her.
Yeah.
She was doing that to hurt Joel.
Well, what you can tell from Ellie in this scene is as she's beginning to walk away to go get the horses to bring back, she stops and turns back to Joel. And it's almost like a test. Didn't you guys kind of think? You think she knew Joel might not listen to her here? And she said, promise?
Yeah, she totally
She says,
knew.
You promise? And she was paying attention. She was watching him because that then pays off in the end, in the last scene when she says, you lied. You had the same face. You swore.
Yep.
You made a good point too. I think because Dad, you said that was not for Ellie, or that was not for Gale. That was for Ellie. Yeah. And you said, I forget what she said. She said, you lied to me talking to Joel. And one of you said, yeah, that's not about Eugene.
That had nothing to do about Eugene and Gale.
What's interesting here in this scene with Eugene, Joel says, I promise. At the end of season 1, he says, I swear. She makes him swear. And then when she's in that scene with Gale by the body, she says, you swore.
Oh,
which is, I think it's purposeful. I think it's.
I swear, yeah.
Because he promised this. I mean, it's the same thing, sure.
Yeah.
Getting to the nitty gritty, but
no, that's a good little linguistic.
Griffin, I'm going to go back to what I said about 15 minutes ago. This dude is doing much better on wine.
Yeah,
you were on your A game today.
What was I on before?
That's what I was wondering. Hey,
some of Eugene's stash.
Here's what I'll say.
Me and Eugene go way back.
Here's what I'll say.
Did you see Miss Gale? What she had on her? You pointed that out.
Yeah, Gale had pot leaf
She had pot leaves.
She did.
Yeah, that was.
They like to smoke it big and sticky.
Sticky as glue.
Sticky as glue.
The reason why I was asking about this is the whole reason. Not the whole reason. This is partially why, at least what we're being shown, why Ellie is so pissed off at Joel. And it's like, damn, I think he had to do this. Like, what was the other option? You carry him tied up on horseback,
break his ribs,
damn ribs,
cargo,
bring him back to Gale, and Gale has to say goodbye, and it's this messy affair. Has to shoot him there. It's like it doesn't make
He's
sense.
turned into a cauliflower head.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, but Ellie treats Joel like he did some horrendous thing. It's just like...
Well, he lied. He lied straight to her face.
Look at this thing, Griff. This is what I'm talking about. Look at his mouth.
Oh, he looks crazy.
He looks like he's getting ready to change right there.
He looks crazy, but he's also having to deal with a million things right now. He's going,
he's dealing with one thing right now.
He's got that cordyceps crawling into every crevice of his damn body.
Yeah.
He's got to be feeling weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It gets me worked up because, like, obviously that's really what messed with Ellie, and I don't think Joel had any other option.
No, he didn't, and that's what it was stirring. It was building, and it finally gets to that point. On the 19th birthday, where I think that's where things just. I mean, I guess she was already out in the garage, but that's what really set him in a bad way, I think, for a bit. Because it seems like they're still interacting, He came on her birthday. He's like, hey, I got a big surprise. We're going on your first patrol.
Yeah.
So this was the time where it's like,
this was where it went downhill. And Then
the hair that, or what is it? The
straw that broke the camel's back.
There it is.
After, of course, we have this scene where Joel's telling Gale, hey, this is what happened. And he's making up this story. He was brave. He said he loved you. He took his own life. And Ellie jumps in, says, no, that's not what happened. Next scene we get, if I'm not mistaken, is we go back to the New Year's Eve party.
And just how cool, you were saying it, Griff, how cool to kind of experience that scene and that night from a different angle, a different perspective.
From several different angles.
What Joel was going on, what Joel was seeing in that moment, because what we see in the initial viewing of that scene is kind of from Ellie's perspective more so, and through her thought process.
And that was episode 1. It was fun to kind of go back a little bit, hear that same music.
That lovely music. What Sadie? 90s Chad?
Yeah,
Sadie,
little Sadie.
Yeah, little Sadie.
Old Crooked, what's the band's name?
I should have to look real quick, but
I should know it.
I'll pull it up as we're kind of still talking here. But that last scene is just magnificent. And I think this is Pedro's farewell. I don't think we see him again now. I think this was kind of the compilation where last go. Like, I think I saw things like it was his last day on set. Like, I think this is.
Oh, wow.
Unless they film things down the line.
Yeah.
But.
No. I mean, and let's be honest. Could it have gotten any better than what it was on that port?
He went out a winner.
Yeah, that's it. Crooked still. Now, he did go out a winner. We saw, what's awesome is we kind of made this prediction saying, hey, I think they probably spoke. Because remember in episode 2, we see the guitar in her garage.
Both of you guys said that. I was against that. I didn't think
how did she get it back? Yeah, that's what we were kind of thinking.
I didn't think that she knew. Both of you guys were saying that you thought she knew.
We were on the scent for sure, because we were like, how did the guitar get back there? And we were kind of trying to qualify. Maybe they didn't talk. Maybe he put it back in there, and whatever it may be. But ultimately, we do find out they have this conversation, and just woo, baby. This is where
the tears are flowing.
Oh yeah,
he starts. It's when he starts like whimpering.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
He's worked that. It's hard. He has to nod and shake no. I mean, he can't even speak for a minute there. Did this scene get you? Oh yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say, I mean, you're not even human if this scene doesn't get you.
Well, it was almost like fucking poetry, like you get to the end of it.
You wanted it so bad, that's what we all were looking for.
He finishes it off with that scene that, in this, a great example of something that wasn't in the video game at all. That scene with his father, where he says, I hope you do a little bit better than me. And what a great way to tie that line back in. And that's how he's ending it. I hope you do a little bit better than me.
And he also, the line that kind of got me was, and he said, and I will pay the price. And all I just could think about, I was thinking about the golf club and that, and I'm like, oh my God, he did. You know, I mean, he knew that there was going to be a bad ending for him.
Well, there's two sides of that, because, one thing that we didn't even say, the price is the name of this episode. And it's the price that Joel does pay.
Well, we didn't get the best introduction today, Austin.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Maybe I should have read it again.
Yeah, maybe Mike should have read it again. But Joel does pay the price in regards to, what he thinks I said in regards. I just learned that it's supposed to be in regard. Regards is wrong. Regardless. All right. So Joel. Oh, yeah. Might be a little. He's drunk.
Maybe we need to do some clinkies.
How would he know?
Yeah, that's great.
You're gonna kill somebody. God. But he does pay the price, and he thinks he's going to pay the price because it's going to drive this wedge in between him and Ellie, ruin that relationship.
Which it already had.
But I would like to try, which is beautiful in that. But Joel does inevitably pay the price in another form and fashion, that being, with his life.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I can't get over it. I think that was exactly what you wanted to see. You see Joel and Ellie open up to each other, show just how much they love each other. They have the conversation that you hoped that they had. And you know that with Joel going out, they were on the same page.
Yep. I mean, this is the night before he dies.
the night before.
Crazy.
Guys, I'm to the. Are you guys ready? I'm just itching. Come on, let's get
Moving
the
on.
favorite
Yeah, let's
scenes.
do it.
Let's get the
Hit
favorite
it.
characters.
Let's hit our categories, baby.
Come on, Austin.
We're
Start it
at
off.
49 minutes. We'll send it on over to Mike. We'll start with our characters. Give us something.
Hey, Eugene. Hey, his name's Eugene now, right? You were the one acting in that.
Yeah,
those
bong
damn
ripping
scenes,
Baldy over there.
I do kind of look like him, don't I? No,
Well, we all do. Don't we?
What's funny is, of course, you know I love Joel, so he's my guy. My favorite character, of course, is going to be Joel. But you know what? For this episode, Eugene, his 5 minutes were 5 minutes
fiery.
They were. I mean, bam! He was.
You were supposed to give
Bing Pow. He was perfect. So
you were supposed to give Austin Eugene because Austin, being the iconoclast that he is, he wanted to pick Eugene. You know,
he.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can take Joel. I mean, that's fine.
Hey, that flame didn't burn long, but baby, it did. It burned bright. Eugene was great. He really was. You love the guy.
Was great.
I would have liked to see.
Give us a Eugene voice.
Oh, what is? I see her. I don't need to talk to her. I need her words and my bong. Let me smoke my reefer one last time.
Now, Eugene is the one at the store, right? At that 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's Eugene's stash.
All right, that was his. That was his funk, right?
That was his funk.
Yeah.
He's got.
Oh, by the way, Eugene, he was also in the Goonies.
Was he? What was he?
Oh my gosh, Austin! He was one of the robbers. People.
Yep.
He was one of the brothers.
Oh my God! He had a toupee.
Guys,
he was Bob back then.
Whoa, that's funny.
I don't know
Good
if you all saw Bad
That's
Boys.
Brilliant.
He was in Bad Boys, both of them, or maybe there's 3 of them, and then he was in the movie with Ben Affleck, Daredevil.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So your guy.
Mine is Eugene. Griff, you're up.
Yours is Eugene. I'm going Ellie.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Ellie. I guess someone's got to stand up for Ellie here, and
But you know what? It's gonna be Austin.
Ellie does a phenomenal job throughout this entire episode. The astronaut scene is amazing. The way she runs up that dinosaur, it's the joy. It's incredible. The way she just digs right into that cake with her hand. Joel's going to get a fork for her. Her name's misspelled on the cake. She's reaching right into the hand, starts eating. You know, it's amazing. And
she's hopped up on pills.
She's hopped up. And the way that she also stands up for herself when she's hanging out with Kat and says, hey, Joel, I'm sorry I got a tattoo. I'm sorry that I'm interested in girls, but I'm really not. Yeah. You know, I just thought it was amazing.
She stands up a few times to him. You know, I'm not your daughter. I'm your partner.
I'm the partner. Stands up to Seth. And she says, hey, I had Seth. And, you know, in her way, I'm sure she did. And Joel says, yeah, you're right. You did.
And she also says, don't you dare take me off patrols again.
Don't take me off patrol. Now, I will.
It right here.
The argument I will have is she was half a damn idiot.
On patrol.
On patrol. She kind of deserved it, to be honest with you.
That was after this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. She's kind of a damn idiot. But I'll say, aside from that, the way, you know, she's tearing up and crying in this final scene too, and says, I would like to try. I don't think I can forgive you, but I would like to try. I mean, talk about poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, who's your favorite character?
I'm going to go Chalky Chuck on this one throughout the whole entire episode. I'm picking Chalk. Joel. Joel is the guy. He's back. Pedro Pascal. We fucking love him.
He's phenomenal.
Easy.
Oh, my God. I miss this guy. He was great. He knocked it out of the park. Home run. And the way he does it so well is with the contribution of Ellie as well. You know, they work together well. And even that scene with...
Hey, Dad, I think he got his ally point back.
Yeah, he did.
I sure did, baby.
Might have got 2.
Might have gotten 2. And then Eugene, you know, that kind of interaction is... what a freaky one to be having.
It's unfortunate,
one that is unique to this world.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
where you got to get put out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Favorite scenes?
Favorite scene?
We're going on the pinwheel, Dad. What you got?
Guys, as a dad, my favorite scene was the scene with the Apollo 11. That was just watching Joel's face, how much pleasure he took in that.
Magic.
It was. And I'm telling you, I'm very comfortable in my manhood, but I was tearing up. And when he looked at her and he had that tear run down his eyes, man, that got me. I mean, and again, if that didn't get you, you're an asshole. I'm sorry. You're just an asshole because, if you've been watching this, look at that. I mean, this dude, every emotion is on his face. Just as Austin pointed out, this guy, we miss him. We miss him bad.
Oh, yeah.
We love how much he loves Ellie.
Yeah, we do.
Love it.
All right, Griff, what's your favorite scene?
The scene that's happening right now. I mean, this is the scene. This is the scene to beat all scenes. This is the scene that we wanted this whole season. Yep. This is gonna be. I'm gonna call it right now.
You wanted this from
this
episode 1.
This is the scene of the season. Let's just say it straight up. It's gotta be.
I'm Chalky Chuck. That's the scene I'm picking too.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, we gotta mention the nature scene with Eugene.
I think those are the real shiners. We have the 16th birthday, which is just amazing.
Yep.
A nice little underdog one, maybe with the guitar scene, the music at the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I think the 16th birthday, 19th birthday with Eugene, and then our last New Year's Eve party through Joel's perspective, and then that payoff conversation, which I had mentioned to you guys, doesn't happen till much later in the video game, but. Are you going to wait 2 years until season 3 comes out? Guess what? Season 3 is all about Abby. Are you going to wait 5-6 years until season 4 to get that?
We were hungry. We needed a little bit. We needed a little bit of bit of grub here.
Yeah, that had to be on the menu this season.
For sure.
All right. Themes and things. Let's finish it up, fellas.
Finish it up. Do we do an IMDb as well?
Oh, shit. We skipped that one. We'll get it at the end. Go ahead with your theme and thing, Mikey.
Guys, we've said it the entire time. Every parent wants to do better than their parent. I mean, that was, Joel's dad wanted to be better than his father. Joel was trying to be better than his. He challenged Ellie, if she has children, that she hopes that she can be better than what Joel did. That to me, that's the entire, I mean, that's just life to me, but that's, I think we've said that throughout this entire, podcast is, it started out with Joel's father, you all were probably like me. You were a little concerned. You're going, is he gonna knock Joel off, out of that chair? Right? Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought he was. And again, Austin pointed out that this fella won a role from that. He was intense. I didn't know where that was going to go, and I was kind of, wow, please don't do that. This is going to be awful. And then Tommy, he ran back to his room. He was smart. So
no, I think that's a great theme. That probably the theme of this episode. What I'll say is trust. We keep coming back to, you lied to me, and trust when broken, that's hard to recover. And I do think that Joel and Ellie reestablished that trust by the end of this episode, as we're seeing in real time. But that would be my theme.
Yep. I would say mine, like I said, I'm Chalky Chuck for the third time. Fatherhood, parenthood, protector, that kind of just... That's what it is. That's Joel's core being. We found out in the very first episode of this or very first scene of this episode, it's that protector complex that he has. And then, being a father to Ellie, being that protector, it's something that's just his core being. So that's what I'm going with. But on top of what you said there, trust, another theme in this, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Ellie is going to try to forgive. Guess who also is going to try to forgive Joel for something bad he did?
Gail.
So I think, and we got to see that what happened for that kind of trust to be broken by Joel with Gail, but she would like to forgive him, which is what made that one scene in episode 1 so powerful and strong, and why we loved it so much, getting back to that. But yeah, that's it. Let's run through some IMDb real quick. Episode 1, Future Days, sitting at 7.3. Episode 2, 9.3. Good one.
Hung.
The Path, 6.9. 4, 6.3. Feel Her Love, 5, 7.5.
It's unbelievable.
And then The Price. I haven't looked at it yet.
Price.
This one here, I'm trying to think where I rate it, because as like a whole thing, like this one was so much more like, I guess like just easy on you in a way, like in that it was like warm and it was a nice hug. And even though it was very sad, it was very fulfilling and like hearty and love filled. Where that episode 2, like it was just
gut wrenching.
Oh my gosh.
But like, so I think I have to go lower on this
Soul
one
stealing,
than
you know?
episode 2. I wouldn't be upset if you rated this one above episode 2. I'm still going to go higher on episode 2, but this one is a very, very close second, sitting at, let's give it a 9.3.
9.3. Okay.
And I gave 9.5, I think, to the episode 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Where are you at, Dad?
Guys, I maybe I was just too emotional at the time, but I was
Don't
typing up my
qualify.
notes.
You loved it.
I rated it 9.6.
9.6.
I loved it.
That's nice.
I loved it. Again, I thought one of the big things, again, I said it, y'all probably, when we listen to this again, y'all going to be like, my God, you said it a million times. But the casting of Eugene, I thought it was perfect. Just like Gail, Catherine O'Hara, I think that was just a perfect cast of him.
Well, we want more of them both. We would like to see them on screen more. That's what it's left us with. It's like, God,
gosh, that
died
was just
already.
great.
We got
And
5 minutes
again,
left.
if I'm going to say it again, but if you
Look at this. They're showing Joel in the last. You see that?
Yeah.
That's really cool. They're showing the making of The Last of Us, and everyone just congratulating him because I guess that was his last scene.
that's going to be it for him.
Yeah, the last scene on set was the astronaut scene. They were in that kind of setting there. Yeah, very pretty.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dad.
So Griff, what's your rating?
I was thinking a 9.2. For me, that's extremely high.
Yeah.
And maybe I should be going higher. What I would say is like, this has been my favorite episode of the season. I say a 9.2. Maybe that sounds a little low, but like, I think it was a great episode. I think it was a really, really, really awesome showing of this season. I think it kind of tied up a lot of loose ends. I think it was, for a lot of people, probably exactly what you wanted to see.
Absolutely. We needed it. Not that we wanted to see it. We fucking needed it. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's sitting at an 8.7. So
It's
the audience agrees. Let's give it that. And
I agree.
Like we've said before, there's a lot of review bombing on this show because there are a lot of, for lack of better word, queer,
like
qualities in a
taboo
way.
real moments. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's fun.
But yeah, boys, that's it. Let's get on out of here. It is.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night. We got a fire to be had. It was a whole lot of fun.
Sir.
A great episode. On to the finale. What the hell are we going to see? What kind of heartbreak awaits is the question.
The good news, we're 2 days away,
cliffhanger.
boys.
There's going to be a hell of a cliffhanger. That's my Kreskin moment. Hell of a cliffhanger.
Oh,
boy,
gosh.
he went all out, didn't he, Aust? It's gonna be a cliffhanger.
Yeah, he put his balls on the line on that one.
I'm really going out there. Oh, that was weak.
Well, here's my prediction.
Here we
All
go.
right. Jesse and Dina are leaving. Ellie's going to try to figure out a way to stay. Maybe Tommy stays with her. I think we said that last episode.
You said that the last episode.
I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll say this. Austin, thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely.
Our Nebbiolo was delicious.
Delightful.
Loved it.
Austin, let's not forget it's Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. Let's send one out to our veterans.
Absolutely.
That's right. Mikey, say your goodbyes, fella.
Guys, thank you all again. Appreciate being out here. Sure having fun. That was a feel good, fun episode. Enjoyed that one, guys.
Feel good, feel bad, but left us complete.
Hey,
Put us right on track. We were needing it, like you said.
Joel went out with his boots on, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. And, I'll say to you guys, I've been having so much fun. Obviously, we're talking about this throughout the week. This has been great, and I really like this Friday night episode as well. I think it was a nice shake up to our format.
Yeah.
I love the Sunday mornings, but this is cool, and it's been a lot of fun doing this. I hope anybody that is listening is enjoying it just a little bit.
Well, they've had a couple bottles of wine too. You guys are probably feeling pretty good.
If they got any kind of sense in them, yeah, they got some wine in them. Maybe they got a little smoke in them too. But yeah, guys, we're going to get on out of here. I appreciate you listening. If you've made it all the way through, we'll be back. I don't know when this one's getting published. I don't know when you're listening, but when you are, I hope you're enjoying it. Sending love out to you. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. We'll be talking to you soon. Let's get rolling. Bye-bye.